My husband sold the truck he's loved since before we met so we could afford the baby. Now he barely looks at me, says he's lost himself, and spends every night staring at old photos of it. Posted by you March 20x. My husband and I have been together for 4 years and married for 2 of those years. We always planned on having children, but 7 months ago we found out it was happening a lot sooner than we imagined. He bought the truck right before we met. He loved it. I guess you could say he was even slightly obsessed with it. I knew this before we started dating, and it didn't change in the 4 years we have been together. He spent a lot of money on it, and continued to spend a lot of money on it. Everything he did in his spare time had to do with his truck. All his friends are truck guys like him, and he's even in this cute little truck club. Since we've been together, I don't think we have taken my car anywhere we have been together actually. He doesn't make great money, but he likes his job, and still paid his portion of everything, so I never had a problem with him spending his little bit of extra money on his truck. We found out I was pregnant, and we were both scared, shocked, and excited. A few months ago he brought up that he doesn't know if he'll be able to afford the truck and the baby. I didn't even know if it would be practical with how big and loud the truck is. We didn't talk about it for a while, and then a few weeks ago he told me as much as he didn't want to he was going to try and sell the truck because the baby was getting so close. He said he couldn't afford the payments and upkeep and maintenance on the truck if we were raising a child. He was as good spirits about it and found potential buyers very quickly. He sold it a couple days later for what he wanted and bought a car the next day. It's been around 3 weeks since he sold the truck, and he has changed completely. We are always laughing and having fun together, and I don't think I've seen him smile since. I've done everything I can think of to make him feel better and to get his mind off it, and nothing has worked. He just comes home from work and watches TV until bed. He's mopey and just drains the energy out of the room, as mean as that sounds. I asked him why he hasn't been hanging out with his friends anymore, and he told me because he sold his truck. He said everything they did was related to that somehow, and it wouldn't be the same. Last night he told me he feels resentment and bitterness towards me even though it was 100% his decision to sell the truck, and he doesn't know why he feels that way. What can I do to help him get past all this? Is he depressed? I just don't know what to do. I know it was just a truck, but it had more of an impact on him than I thought it would. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Sounds like it was a huge mistake to sell that truck. People don't have to give up who they are just because they have children. Maybe he wouldn't have had the money to keep it in tip-top shape, but who cares? Encourage him to take some of the money from the sale and buy a less expensive truck. Op response. Yeah, I know he regrets it, but he had a $800 monthly payment on it plus everything else. I asked him why he didn't get an older and less expensive truck, and he said he would rather just have a car than downgrade from his dream truck. I'm hoping he has a change of heart and decides to sell or trade the car in for a more affordable truck. Commenter 2. Sounds like he not only gave up his truck, but also his social circle. Being cut off from your friends feels incredibly lonely. Maybe reach out to his truck buddies for some ideas on how to re-engage him into their circle. Maybe they can find a project truck they can all work in together. If he's close with them, then surely even they don't want him to just disappear. Op response. They have reached out to him to come hang out and such, but he said he would feel weird and kinda uncomfortable doing the kind of stuff they did before and not having his own truck. Update 3 weeks later. I wanted to post an update because it's nice reading positive outcomes on here. I got a lot of responses, and it really helped me better understand what he was going through. We were finally able to have a good talk about it. He told me what a lot of you said. That truck was his identity and part of who he was. I told him I knew he didn't want that car he bought, and he told me I was right. We talked more and eventually figured out something that would work. He sold the car he had, and we agreed he could just use mine. Our schedule works out to where he could take me to work and pick me up on time. It wasn't a big hassle, and I was going on maternity leave soon anyways. He found a totaled truck for sale, and the engine was still in good condition. It was the engine he wanted. He bought the truck for what was supposedly a really good deal, and him and a couple friends ripped everything out of it that he needed and got rid of the body. The engine is in our garage now. It took him a couple weeks, but he found a truck to put the engine into, and him and a friend are going to pick it up this weekend. He's back to his old self again, and baby is gonna be here soon, and we couldn't be more excited.